And we're back. Welcome. We got a lot to talk about. First, couple things we're going to talk about. First one, season structure, right? Kind of a lot going on this year, a lot of different competitions. We'll kind of break those down, all that kind of stuff. Second thing we're going to talk about is our new cycle that is starting this week. So let's get into it. First, we'll kind of go about the structure in two ways. So we got individuals and masters that are semi-similar path, and then we have our team that's a little different. First, the Open starts February 26th, 3 weeks long, just like it's always been. For individuals and masters, Open's not a real big deal for us, right? All we care about is top 25%. Top 25% makes quarterfinals. That's it. For individuals and masters, that's all we're trying to do. Make quarterfinals, and we'll be fine with that. Then, quarterfinals, individuals and masters, same quarterfinals. This is when it matters, because this will depend on where you're at on the quarterfinals, will depend on if you get invites to semifinals. Now, overall, Open, online, quarterfinals, online, semifinals, also online for majority of people. To make online semifinals, all you have to do is be top 2,000. That's individuals. Top 2,000. The online individual semifinal is not until June. So quarterfinals, March 26th. Online individual semifinals, June 11th. Top 2,000 from in the world, from quarterfinals, move on to that. Now, all the in-person stuff is when it gets a little weird. Okay, first, the Masters online semifinals is May 7th. So they're kind of just about a month apart each. Masters, they have different numbers that make their online one depending on what age bracket you are in. So we're not going to get into that. But now let's talk about in-person for individuals and masters. For masters, there are no qualifiers. It is all based off of where you rank in quarterfinals. So those who are in the top of the quarterfinals will receive an invite. How they do it, so let's say Legends Championship is the first one. Well, it is. What they'll do is they'll look at the quarterfinals leaderboard, and whoever is the top 40, we'll say, because that's the 35 to 40 division, those top 40 in the quarterfinal will get an invite. If they say no, they'll just keep going down the backfill list. All right, and then Magic City Games is the same way. They're using quarterfinals. If you say no, then they move to the next person on the list. It's all from that. There's no qualifiers for those two, for masters, that is. Individuals, for Syndicate Crown, for Legends Championship, it's the exact same thing. So Legends is both individuals and masters. Syndicate Crown is just individuals and teams. There is no qualifier for those ones. They pick based off of where you are on the quarterfinals. Now, NorCal is the one that's different. They have a qualifier, basically the entire month of January, from like the second week until the end. They will pick from that qualifier and from quarterfinals. It makes sense if you don't think about it. So NorCal has a qualifier. All of the other ones is based off of quarterfinals. So our big thing for individuals and masters is quarterfinals. We have to do the best we possibly can. We have to get as high up on that leaderboard so we can get invites to the in-person ones. Cool. Now that individual is covered, we'll talk about team. Like I was saying, for individuals and masters, Open, not that big of a deal. It's just for fun. We're just getting to the top 25%. Now, teams is where it matters. The Open, kind of like the quarterfinals for individual masters, will place you for your semifinals. If we're looking to go online and only online, it is May 29th. Every team from the Open makes that. There is no top 2,000, no top 25%. If you sign up a team for the Open, you make online semifinals. Congratulations. That's so cool. Good job. Yeah. Now, our goal is to get a team to Syndicate Crown, hopefully 2 teams to Syndicate Crown. At least 1 team. To make Syndicate Crown, you have to be top 40 They didn't really specify regions or anything like that. So I guess you got to be top 40 worldwide, and you get invited to Syndicate Crown. How we're going to do our teams this year. We're going to have one team set going into the Open, and then we'll have one team that the Open will decide. So we're going to have two teams. We'll have, like we did 2 years ago, CrossFit Grandview Red, CrossFit Grandview Black. CrossFit Grandview Red will already be decided going into the Open. It'll be 4 people. They're the only 4 on that team. There is no backups. If they get hurt, sorry about it. Everyone else in the gym will be on CrossFit Grandview Black. And the top 4, male, female, will make the team from those 3 Open workouts, because the Open's what matters this year. Okay, so again, one team already made up. The other team will depend on Open. Now, the cool thing about this year is you can do both, individual and team. As long as we don't make individuals Syndicate Crown, and we make it as a team, we can do both. Our goal is to have all of our individuals and masters make Legends Championship, which is out in California in April. Our teams make Syndicate Crown, and then everyone else make online. That way we have all of our individual and masters in one place. We have both of our teams in one place, and then anyone else who didn't make it will make online individual. That's our goal, but that's a hard goal. So yeah, that's our season structure. So again, the Open for individuals and masters don't matter. For teams, it's all that matters. Quarterfinals for individuals and masters matters a lot. There is no quarterfinals for team. It's just straight to semifinals. Our Open will decide what team you are on. If you are on our Team Black, I'll say. Not what team. If you're on our Team Black. And yeah. Any questions on that? Because it's very confusing. Let me know. But now, let's move to our new cycle. Whoa. Okay, so. Our new cycle. So we have 2 cycles going into the Open. This is our first one, and then we'll have a second one in another 8 weeks from now, I guess. So with that being in mind, this cycle is all about strength. As you'll probably see, we are switching to a conjugate-based strength system, and I'll go over why. We are doing very minimal workouts, Metcons, I'll say, and we are doing a lot of accessories. Now, let's talk about why. So we are in the holiday season, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, holiday season. The point of this season is to build our base back up, because we just came off of a big cycle of working out, big cycle of Metcons. So this is all about building strength, just raw strength and fast strength, which is why we're going with the conjugate method. So one thing I like about the conjugate method is we're able to push the weight that our body is loading weekly. By that I mean we are going to have a max effort upper and a max effort lower weekly. So we are getting a lot of weight on our system without dragging our system down. We're not doing 5x5s at 75, 85%, right? That's a lot on your system when it comes to CrossFit training. We are going to build to a 1 rep and as few sets as possible. Get the load so our body's used to managing the load that we need to manage, and then we're going to move on. The strength part of things in the conjugate system come more from the accessories than it does from the main lift. So in our main lifts, our max effort upper, our max effort lower, we are pushing the weights to a maximum with good technique. So we're not going to a point where we're like failing because of bad technique. We almost never want to fail. But our strength will build when we get to our accessories. So our accessories will be designed to build up our pressing and our pulling, our leg pushing and our deadlifting. And that is where we need to push the weight. So Mondays, max effort upper. We have 8 weeks. We have 8 different versions of a max effort upper. Everyone is going to be the same system, right? We are trying to get to a maximum output in a short period of time without losing technique. The second you start losing technique, congrats, you found your max, we move on. After our max effort upper, we then go into our superset. Our superset is going to be some sort of pressing and pulling accessory. That is where you need to push the weight. That is where you're going to get strong. We are not doing these accessories just because they say to do them. We are trying to push the weight to get stronger in the accessories. So you'll see 4 different accessories, supersets on Monday for our upper body. So we have our max effort, we have our superset, and then we'll have a Metcon. The Metcon, because we're spending so much time on strength, is going to be pretty short, right? Hopefully less than 12 to 15 minutes. So nothing super long on Monday. Cool, we'll talk about the extras in a bit. So that's a classwork Monday. Tuesday, same kind of flow, right? Max effort lower, superset lower, and then a workout. Max effort lower was going to be a little bit longer than our upper just because it takes more time. We're going to, hopefully, our legs are a little bit stronger than our arms. Some of us, not me, kind of. And our superset, same thing. We are building strength in the superset. We are touching, managing load in the max effort. So we're building to a max effort, like, for example, week 1, box squat with chains. We are getting as high and heavy as possible without failing, without losing technique. Then we move on to our accessories. Accessories, just like our upper, you'll see 4 supersets throughout the course of 8 weeks. On these supersets, you need to be pushing the weights. The supersets, you'll see a lot of single leg work and a lot of hamstring back work. Okay, push the weight there. That's where we get stronger. Then our Metcon, same thing, hopefully 12 less minutes. Cool. Now, Wednesday. Last cycle, we had 4 days of Olympic lift. Wednesdays, we only have 1 in class. So Wednesdays, we will do our Olympic lifts. We will switch weekly from our clean and jerk to our snatch. So week 1, clean and jerk, week 2, snatch. What we're going to do with that, because we're only hitting it once and we want to make sure our weights are still up, is we're going to hit one version of the lift and we're going to build to a heavy there. So for example, our first week, we're hitting a high hang squat clean and a split jerk. We're going to 6 sets of that. You're going to build to a heavy, make sure the weight's still there, make sure we're still feeling good with the lift, and then we move on. Our priority this cycle is not as much getting better at the Olympic lifts. Our priority is maintaining our Olympic lifts. So we're just going to hit them once a week. After our Olympic lifts on Wednesday, because we'll have a little bit more time in class, we're going to hit a longer workout, 15 to 25 minutes, longer grinding of a workout. Cool. Thursdays will be our recovery day, like always. And then we go to our dynamic days. So dynamic days, we have upper and lower. Friday is dynamic upper. Saturday is dynamic lower. These do require a little bit of a setup. There will be videos on the setups. The reason behind the dynamic day, the reason we're doing dynamic day is because, as we've noticed through the year, is CrossFit. It's not about how much you can lift. It is also about how fast you can lift loads. So if you take a workout like the semifinal workout 2 years ago, it was front squats and running. Front squats for guys were 225, for ladies were 155. That workout was not just about going unbroken for 10 reps at 225. That workout was about squat speed at 225. It's all well and dandy if you can squat 225, 155, 10 times. But if you're pausing at the top and if you're grinding through it each time, people are going to pass you. So our goal with dynamic days is to build speed with our squat, speed with our deadlifts. Not only for when we're in Metcons and moving through those fast, but also for when we get to our main lifts. Right? Speed with lightweight transfers to lifting heavier weight. So when we do our dynamic days, you'll see lighter percentages. You'll also see bands or chains. Our goal is not to break through the percentages. Our goal is not to push the percentages. Our goal is to push the weight as fast as you possibly can. We want our muscles firing as fast as we can. Because if we can move that weight fast, not only in workouts will it move faster, but also the heavier weights will move easier. Okay, now as we're talking about speed, we don't want to lose technique as we are moving fast. If we start losing technique or we start moving too slow, we are too heavy. You need to go lighter. And that will be something that will be an adjustment for a lot of us, right? Taking the weight back and squat as fast as you can. Taking the weight back and benching as fast as you can. Perfect. All right, so our dynamic days, how those will be 2 3-week mini cycles with a little break in between each one. Friday, again, is our dynamic upper. You'll see the same lift for 3 weeks. So when we set it up, it should be identical every single week, so we know we're hitting the same thing. Same thing for lower, same lift for 3 weeks. We'll take 1 week of a little back off, and then same lift for 3 more weeks. Just like we did for our upper and our lower, after our dynamic, we'll also have another superset. Again, that's where we get strong. The accessories, not the main lift, especially on dynamic day. The main lift, we are moving fast. The accessories, we're getting strong. So you need to push the weight on the accessories. Just like for Monday and Tuesday, Friday and Saturday, we'll see 4 separate supersets. Each one should take no more than 12 minutes. And we're pushing the weights there. Cool. Friday, we'll have another shorter Metcon, 12-minute max-ish. Then Saturdays, because we're going to have 2 teams this year, because we aren't sure who's going to be on those teams, one of the teams, until the open, we are going to get the worm out and work on it every single Saturday. Because one thing we're good at when it comes to live competition is moving the worm and working as a team. All of these other teams, they train individually, and then when it's time, they come together and they think they're going to be these powerhouses. That's great for individual, but when it comes to a team, we train together weekly. Not only on Saturdays, but throughout the week, we're training with each other. But on Saturdays, we're doing synchro stuff, we're doing worm stuff. So if you're coming to 11 o'clock class, be prepared to get on a worm. We have a smaller one now, but at least the big one. Yeah. Now, our accessories, we are focusing on, just like the class, getting stronger, not only now in our lifts, but also our gymnastics. So twice a week on Monday and on Friday, you'll see ring muscle up work, building capacity in the rings outside of a workout. And then once a week, we'll see gymnastics pop its head with pulling. So chest to bars, toes to bars, something like that. That'll be on Wednesdays. And then we'll also have our handstand work on Mondays and Fridays as well. Our extra Metcons are going to be all machine-based Metcons. Less Metcons, more just straight up machine work. So Mondays we'll hit skiing. Tuesdays we'll do the echo bike. Wednesdays we'll hit rowing. Then Fridays we have our mixed modal. So we'll combine the machines, do some other stuff. That's a longer, grindy of a workout. Saturdays our extra work is going to be extra teamwork. So in class we'll have our short little team Metcon, and then our extra work will also be a little team work as well. Yeah. All right. That should be it. Sorry, it was a little long. If you have any questions, let me know. Peace out.